All right. Hello, everybody. It's Tarkan back with another video. Before I get into this one, I have a cool little manifestation story to share with you. So last week, maybe about 3-4 days ago, actually, I realized I was running out of toilet paper. So I thought about this for a minute and I thought, well, all the stores I've been to recently are, of course, out of toilet paper. So what am I going to do, right? And I thought, hey, I'm just going to manifest some toilet paper. I mean, this is what I do. This is what we do, right? We manifest things. So I didn't worry about it too much. I just thought, the solution will come. Toilet paper will come. The universe will provide. And of course, what happened next was that I felt this strange urge to go to my regular coffee shop. I like to go there sometimes and just sit and read. I read Law of Attraction books and I sip tea, right? And I just kind of take a load off. And I thought, I kind of feel like going down there, but I don't know if they're open because everything seems to be closing, right? I wonder if they're open, but something told me to just drive by there and check. So I did. I drove by there, I checked, and lo and behold, they're open. Now they're only taking takeout orders, right? So you can't actually sit there, but they were open. So I thought, well, hell with it, I'll get a cup of tea anyway. So I went inside and I ordered, safe distance and all that stuff. I ordered a cup of tea, and while she's making my cup of tea, I look over in the corner, and right there, where they normally have all the condiments and the things, the lids for the cups and the sugar and the honey and all that, they had cleared all that away, and they were selling eggs, loaves of bread, and single rolls of toilet paper for $1 a piece. And there were like a bunch of them. And then I saw the owner, he was milling about, and he said, oh, I have even more in the back. So he brings out a whole package of toilet paper, and he says, how many do you need? And I grabbed a bunch of them. And it turns out also, not only did I just get toilet paper for $1 a roll, but it was my brand. It was my preferred brand of toilet paper. So, so there it is, guys. This is how the universe leads us to our manifestation. I had the desire for toilet paper. I could have sat around and worried about it. I could have driven around town all day to different shops and tried to, find some places that might still have toilet paper. I could have, stressed about it. I could have checked online. Where's the toilet paper? How am I going to get toilet paper? I could have used my nut all that time, my monkey mind, to figure it all out. But instead, what I did was I put the request in for toilet paper. I let it go. A solution will come. And lo and behold, all it took was a little urge from the universe to get me to drive down there, even though I thought it was going to be closed. Not only did I get to have a cup of tea and enjoy that, but I got toilet paper and plenty of it, you see? And my preferred brand. So how about that? I mean, you can't beat that with a stick. I've never in my life been that happy to get toilet paper. I'll tell you that much. So that little tidbit aside, let's get into the gist of this video. Those of you that come to my channel and have frequent, for however long it's been up now or for a long amount of time, that's one of the things I always stress when it comes to manifesting, and especially when it comes to manifesting a specific person or an ex-back, is that you make it about yourself. Right? Now, the reason I do that is because the majority of you and the majority of my clients who come to me are still sort of at that stage where they're just obsessing about that person. And, I have to sort of let them know and have to let you guys know that you got to move past that stage of obsessing about them. You got to move past that stage of thinking that they are the only ones that are going to make you happy in your life. And to come to the realization and the understanding that you are the one who's responsible for your own happiness. And once you realize that, and once you are able to do the things and think in a way that provides your own happiness for yourself, then they can come, because now you're not putting so much pressure on them. You're not putting so much energetic and vibrational pressure on them to provide you with happiness. Because that's why you want them back. That's why you want the money. That's why you want the good health, because you want to be happy. That's why we're creating and manifesting. That's why we're learning all this stuff. That's why we talk about it and think about it, okay? It's a way you want to feel. But the thing is, you can't feel that way if you're obsessing about them all the time, because what you're doing is you're focusing only on how they're not present in your life. And if you focus on and start to feel like and practice feeling like they are present in your life, then you become a match to them being present in your life. And then the universe can pull them towards you or pull you towards them. because all that stuff that you want is already done. It's already arranged. It just needs you to calm down a little bit, take a step back and focus on yourself for a while, and focus on loving yourself. Because anytime you think you need somebody else to make you happy, you're not loving yourself. Because you think somebody else has to love you first to have permission to love yourself. So that's the thinking that needs to change first. And that's why I urge that all the time. And I always say, and I can sense when somebody's coming from that state of mind where they go, I need them. And they're thinking about them all the time. They're obsessing about them. They're upset all the time about it. They're despondent about it. They feel helpless about it. I know they have to move past that first in order to get to the next phase of the whole process of manifesting somebody back, which I talk about very little on this channel. I realized the other day I should speak about this a little bit more. And I've spoken about some of these things in the past, like some videos I did a couple years ago. But the thing is that once you get yourself to a place of moving past that obsession, that need for them to be there, you want them to be in your life, but you don't need them to be in your life, because now you've done the work of calming yourself down and focusing on yourself and loving yourself. The question then becomes, well, what now, right? So now, though, here's where you pull your focus back onto them, you see. Once you've done that work and once you've practiced yourself into a better vibration about this whole thing and a better state of mind about this whole thing, now you can begin to put your focus back on them, because now putting your focus on them is coming from a more self-loving place, a calmer place, a more centered place. Now is when you do your visualizations. Now is when you do your scripting. Now is when you do your affirmations. You see what I'm saying? So because now you're doing it from a state of mind that is more prone to accepting them into your life, rather than trying to force them or pull them into your life or push against all the circumstances out there, you see. Just like with me and the toilet paper, you got to get to a place of letting it happen, okay? I realize it's a humorous example to use, but hey, it fits in. So if it fits in and I can use it as a teaching tool, why not, right? So, but the point is that, so now I've done all that stuff, right? I've calmed myself down, I love myself, I'm involved in my passions, I've made my life enjoyable and loving without them in it. Still wanting them, still reaching for that, but not needing them. That's the trick, okay? So now I've done all that. What do I do now? Well, now you go into your imaginal states, because now you don't have so much pressure that you're putting on yourself. You don't have so much resistance up. You don't have so much need for it to be different. You would like it to be different. See, that's a soft approach. That's a light touch approach to manifesting. And that's the approach you need with anything that you want to manifest, especially the things that you want the most, because the things you feel you want the most, because remember, the universal mind is all the same. A button and a castle is all the same to the universe. It's only to you, to your mind, that you make one thing more important than the other, or one thing less attainable than the other, one thing more urgent than the other, okay? That's only the ego mind that does that. But once you are able to still the ego mind, then what you have is a light touch approach, and you go, just like with the toilet paper, or just like with a cup of coffee, it's like that, okay? Oh, I'd love a cup of coffee. You know you're gonna live if you don't have a cup of coffee. You're not going to die. Nothing's going to come crashing down on your head. It won't be the end of the world, okay? If you don't get a cup of coffee, but you'd like a cup of coffee. You'd love a cup of coffee. So then, you focus on that lightly. You maybe even visualize someone buying you a cup, or somehow getting a cup of coffee without having to pay for it. And then, lo and behold, you just go about your day, or somehow you get an urge to go walk over there, or go down, drive to that thing, or call that friend, and they invite you to a cup of coffee. Or you go to the coffee shop and the barista made a cup for someone who didn't want it anymore, so they give it to you, okay? See, things like that happen all the time. But that's how it's going to happen, most likely with your sort of most major kind of urgent manifestations, the moment they become less urgent for you. And that's why, when it's urgent, you want to pull the focus back on yourself and away from them. But then when it isn't urgent anymore, now you can get into the details of this thing that you want, okay? Now you can visualize the perfect relationship and exactly how you want it to be. Go in your mind 5 years down the road when you guys are celebrating your anniversary or something like that, okay? You're sitting around looking at pictures of your wedding day, or that vacation you took together, or on your honeymoon, or whatever it is, okay? You can visualize that, because now you're easing into the scene. You're easing into the feeling of having it. and you're not pushing so hard for it, okay? Because even if you visualize, say, from a place of still feeling the urgency of it and still being very obsessed about them, you're not going to ease into the calmness of it. You're not going to, because the whole time you've got that other thing going on in your head. They're not here. They're not here. And I'm only doing this, visualizing things so they can get here, because only then can I be happy. So all that stuff is gone now. Because now when you've done the work on yourself, when you focus on yourself long enough and you've practiced yourself into a centered place, and you've understood that you can be happy without them. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't come. I know a lot of you guys have fears about that. Once you accept that you're okay without them, that means the universe won't give it to you because it thinks you don't want them anymore. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you can throw that right out the window, put it in the trash bin. Okay, because that's nonsense. So that's what the universe never forgets what you want. Okay, your higher being, your inner being, it's all the same. It never forgets what you want. It always knows what you want, and the moment you launch that desire, it arranges it for you. It's out there in the ether. It's in the vibrational escrow. Okay, it's in that infinite field of possibilities, just waiting for you to plug into it. That's all it is. You can't plug into it from a place of only seeing the lack of it. You can't plug into the presence of it from a place or an awareness, practiced awareness of how it's not present, you see. So that's why you pull back first, okay? And then once you've done that, now you can ease into it. Now you've got a light touch approach. Now it's like that cup of coffee. I'd love a cup of coffee. God, I'd love to hear from them. God, I'd love to have that next relationship with them. God, I'd love to have them back in my life, but I don't need them. I'm happy without them. You see? That's the trick. That's the middle point of that sort of stick, where on the one end, you really, really, really want it, and on the other end, you really don't care. You don't want it at all, okay? Those are the two extreme ends, right? What you want to be is right around the middle. That's where you want to, that's what you want to achieve. That, hey, I want it, but I'm cool. That's what you want. Okay? And from that place, from that mindset, guys, that's when everything is possible. Okay? That's when they'll come with ease, and you'll go, what the hell happened? All this time I wanted them, and I was like, where are they? And getting coaching and watching all of Tarkan's videos and getting frustrated, you know, and then all I had to do was just focus on myself for a little while, just be cool, and then put my focus back on them, right? And here they are. Wow, and it happens like that all the time, okay? You'll even be pleasantly surprised, but you won't be like, wow, because you'll get to a place of understanding and just accepting that it's already happened. So it won't be that much of a surprise. It'll be a pleasant surprise, but it won't be like, oh my God, right? Because you'll have trained yourself you'll understand, and your manifesting muscle will be so strong that you'll go, oh, of course they're here. Of course they came in easily. I could have had it this way all the time, but now I've released my resistance, and that was good. And I gave myself the time and space to do that. Now here they are. Of course they are, right? So yeah, so visualizing in that way. And of course, you know, all the things with the visualizing that you've heard are true. You want to feel it real. You want to make the scene as real as possible. You want to insert smells and sounds and things like that, okay? What's the weather like? And, you know, just play with it, because then when you're doing it with a light touch approach, okay, with a light heart, then all that stuff will be fun. It'll be like daydreaming, like when you used to be a kid and you daydreamed, right? And it was a blast to do that. Anything but paying attention to the math teacher, right, was a blast. So you'd think about, oh, I'm going to ride my bike after school, or this Sunday with my friends or something, right? So that's kind of what you want to, because you're not doing it for the sake of it happening. It's already done. You're just doing it. It's like you're preparing yourself. You're rehearsing. Think of it as a dress rehearsal. That's what visualizing really is. You're going to play that scene. You're in that scene. You're the leading lady or leading man in that scene, and they are along with you, right? So you're just rehearsing for that scene. That's what visualizing really is. But how can you rehearse if you're stressed out about it? All right, you're going to rehearse and be calm and just get your lines down and get everything down and get so comfortable with the part that you're going to play, right? In that new scene, in that new relationship, that new chapter in your life, that next chapter in the film of your life, okay? That's what you're doing. That's what actors do. They rehearse, rehearse, rehearse until that part becomes them, you see. They become it, rather. They become the character. Even to the point sometimes where they can't differentiate who they are anymore. Am I the character, or am I this this person, this actor? That's the place you want to get to practice your visualizations to such a point, and feeling it real to such a point where you can't tell the difference anymore between what you're imagining and what's real. And that's when the two can come together, you see, because that's when they are a match. That's how it happens, all right? And that's what it means for you to be aligned with it. That's what it means for you to be a vibrational match with it, okay? Same with your scenes, with your scripting. Write your scene, okay? Also, sending them love. You can't send them love if you're obsessed about them. You can't send them love if you're only worried about how they're not in your life anymore, or when will they come, and why haven't they called, and who are they with, okay? You can't send them love from that place, because that's ego-based again. That's not really love, okay? So you can send them love. You can meditate. Again, once you've calmed down, once you've learned to love yourself first. You can't love somebody until you love yourself first. Not really, guys. Not really. You need to practice that on yourselves first, because then you practice giving yourself love. Again, it's like practicing that scene, like rehearsing. Then you go and send them love, because now you know how it's done, okay? And so, and forgiving them, right? If there's any anger from the past, you got to clear that out, and you got to forgive yourself for anything that you think you might have done wrong. So once you've done all that stuff, this is the kind of thing that you can do, okay? Visualize, then you can affirm, then you can script, then you can send them love in your meditation. Close your eyes and, and just think loving things about them and just send that off to them. Write down lists of positive aspects of them, okay? You can only do that from a calm place. You can only do that effectively from a calm place, from a place where you've forgiven them, forgiven yourself, if it's an ex, right? For whatever they may have done in the past. All that stuff needs to go out the window, okay? So if you really love them, if you really want them back, that means you really love them. And so you got to practice that unconditional love, but you have to practice it on yourself first, okay? And then you can give it to them. Then you can give it to another. That's how that works, okay, guys? So, again, remember, I know I stress a lot to focus on yourself. And sometimes, guys, some of you guys have come back to me like, well, I've practiced, loving myself, now what? Or they're still not here. I'm like, well, if you're asking they're still not here, then you still haven't quite gotten there, okay? If you're still asking that question, you haven't quite gotten there. But if you have gotten there, then here's the thing, all right, that I just talked about in this video. Then go ahead and give yourself give yourself the permission to go and visualize and script and affirm and send them love and do your list of positive aspects about them, okay? And do that consistently every day. And again, don't make a chore out of it. You've heard me say that before. When I say consistently every day, you can skip a day, you can skip a week, it's okay. But be consistent about it. Do it when you feel okay about it, when you feel calm, all right? You may still have moments of feeling a little bit like, oh, where are they? And I really want this thing right now. That's okay. You'll find the more you focus on yourself, the more joy you have in your life, the more you do things that are passionate, that you love, the fewer of those moments you will have. But don't freak out if they still occur. They may still occur. It's not a big deal. You just want them to occur less of the time rather than most of the time, okay? So that's what you can do, guys. Now, once you kind of move in, then begin practicing sending them love and visualizing, okay? So I wanted to give you guys that and let you know about my toilet paper experience, because it's fantastic. And also, we're back to business as usual here. I know the world is still popping off in all kinds of directions. Never mind. Let the world do what it needs to do right now. You do your work, and you will come out of all of this stronger, smarter, wiser, better. Okay? More powerful. How about that? Isn't that wonderful? So, I hope everyone's safe and healthy out there and happy, okay? And I hope you're doing all the things to calm you down, the things you love to do. I hope you're keeping your loved ones close, sending them love as well, okay? And thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for your tips and donations. The people have been sending those. I love you guys, and thank you so much for those. They're so much appreciated. And if you feel like doing that, that's down below. There's two links for that down below, one for Cash App, one for PayPal. If you want some coaching with me, there's a link for that down below as well in the description box. Okay, and if you like this video, please hit like, please subscribe if you haven't, please comment, and please share with anyone you think might benefit from this material. Okay, so thanks again for watching, guys. Until next time, I'm Tarkan. Be well and happy manifesting. Bye-bye.